George Michael Outside. It's 39 minutes past 7. I'm Nawaz Hussain, here with you through till 10 o'clock this evening. Now, 15 years ago, when she was a teenager, Zainab Jogi, also known as Z, decided to channel her frustrations into martial arts. Fast forward to today, and Z runs her own fitness and self-defense academy. She's on a self-defined mission to teach other women, especially those of South Asian heritage and Muslim heritage like herself, the skills to defend themselves. And if that were not enough, Z is a Guinness World Record holder for completing an obstacle course at the summit of Mount Kilimanjaro, the highest mountain in Africa. I'm pleased to say Z joins me on the line now. Good evening, Z.
Hi, how are you?
Good, thanks. So, what got you into martial arts? I got into it at a similar time in my life. It was a combination of watching Bruce Lee and Van Damme films and getting bullied. What was your story?
Mine was just to control my mental health. I was going through puberty, wanted to understand and control my emotions. I'd lash out all the time, had anger issues. So for me, it was just more to control sort of my mental health and my anger.
And what was the first martial art that you went and trained in?
So Muay Thai kickboxing was the first one that I started, and I did that for around about 10 years before I qualified as a Muay Thai kickboxing instructor. And then I volunteered for the gym teaching women. My sort of then, life just evolved because I wanted to learn more about defence, because I don't know, what sport did you do?
I did Muay Thai.
You did Muay Thai as well, so you know how lethal the sport is. It teaches a lot of attacking techniques, so I wanted to learn more about defence, which is why I sort of went on further to learn about self-defence. So I did Krav Maga, which is a military style self-defence training, and also did self-defence and restraint course as well through the Federation of Personal Safety.
And when you started to get more and more into martial arts, what was your family's response to seeing their daughter doing what for many people is stereotypically seen as a sort of male pursuit?
My mother was quite supportive. She sort of, she knew how much it helped me and how much I was changing as a person. So for her, it was like, yeah, you go. She'd actually force me sometimes to go when I didn't want to go to the gym. She'd tell me, go on, you need to go. Because it became part of my life, that all my friends, family, relatives, they all know now that, that is something that I love to do and I need to do, because that's the only thing that helps me control my mental health.
And in terms of you teaching as a woman, I mean, I know there's lots of women, particularly in the world of Muay Thai, who not only excel and are champions, but have become successful coaches. We have one in Sheffield, Helen Garnett. There's numerous others around the north and indeed the south. But having the sort of, I think the term now is intersectionality. So you're Asian, you're Muslim, you're a female in a male-dominated environment. Did that pose any issues for you within the sort of fields that you were in, the sort of self-defense martial arts fields?
Yeah, I mean, I think now people in the last couple of years have become more open to sort of females learning self-defense. But when I started, we're talking 15 years ago, there was a lot of stigma. It'd be like you'd walk into a room training, at the Fighters Club for 10, 15 guys, and you'd be the only female. People do look down on you. I'm quite a petite size. I'm only a size 8, quite small. So people would think, oh, what's she doing here? Or why is she here? But once you start the training, once you start the sparring, that's when obviously everybody's eyes sort of enlighten, because it's not about the size, it's about having that knowledge, the speed and the power.
And obviously we've seen lots of things, unfortunately, in the news involving attacks on women, some of them fatal. Do you feel that you have a sense of responsibility? I mean, speaking as someone who's done martial arts for the vast majority of his life, I know I find it irritating when I watch videos on social media of self-defense where people are being, from my humble point of view, being taught ridiculous things that are probably going to get them more hurt, if not killed, particularly when dealing with weapons. And it's almost instilling a very false sense of security amongst students that that this will work, or you can try this when you're faced with someone with a knife. Is that something you're conscious of when you're sort of devising a syllabus or responses for people?
Yeah, so you do have to be careful in how you sort of teach self-defense. And as part of the course, what we do is teach you all the basic fundamentals on how to sort of, defend yourself if you were in any sort of scenario. And then if you wanted to pursue your sort of, knowledge and, understanding more about self-defense, you would then obviously, attend our fitness sessions. So our courses are just sort of giving you the basic knowledge, because we do think knowledge is key and having that confidence. So sometimes it's not just about knowing, it's about being able to know how to do what to do, according to the law as well, because like you've said, there is a lot of things out there that teach you or do this, but you could be the victim, but unfortunately, be prosecuted because you've done something wrong. So you've really got to understand what the law states within these scenarios as well. So our courses actually teaches you everything that you need to know. It's then up to you or down to you to then pursue that further. And because, it's one of those worlds where you can never stop learning. I'm still learning at the moment. I come across things and think, oh my God, I didn't even know that. So knowledge is key. That's something that we teach a lot of our students.
Just picking up on what you said there, knowledge is key. Again, I'm able to speak about this just from sort of personal experience, but so something that's often overlooked is the sort of mental side of things. And I'm reminded of, there's a scene in I think it's Enter the Dragon, where Bruce Lee's asked what his style is, and he says the art of fighting without fighting. And that was always explained to me of being aware of your surroundings. The best form of self-defense is avoiding situations or looking ahead, things like that. Is that something, particularly given women being out late at night, encountering groups, is that something you teach, and how important do you think that is?
That is very, very important. I mean, violence is something that we teach quite minimal of. It's more understanding, like you just stated, the street where you're in, your surroundings. We also give all our students security alarms, which is like a little key ring which you can keep in your sort of purse or bag. And once you sort of, it's like a little clip on it. If you clip that off, it's a horrendous sign. Or you use your voice. Your voice is a weapon in itself. I mean, if you were in trouble, you were shouting and screaming, there's bound to somebody hear you and come and help you. We are humans, and that is something that we teach as part of our courses as well. So it's actually theory as well as practical, but there's a lot more theory that we teach because, like you said, you have to be aware of where you are, what you're doing. And if there is a bunch of guys in one corner, you wouldn't purposely walk towards them. You'd walk on the other side of the road. Sometimes there's common sense as well, which is what we do.
Well, Z Jogi, thank you very much for joining us on BBC Local Radio in Yorkshire.
Thank you.